Goals, they're what football is all about, and everyone remembers the great ones. They are the reason we watch, play and love the game of football, and Chelsea Football Club have scored a little over 8,000 of them since it all began in 1905. Picking the greatest of all is therefore an impossible task, not least because that all depends on your definition of great. Whether it's individual brilliance, the teamwork or the occasion concerned, there are all kinds of factors that can make a goal great. When it comes to the Blues, our list of contenders begins back in 1955. And we start with a penalty kick, the simplest of all goals really, but often of major significance. 2 weeks apart, Peter Osgood's spot kicks against title rivals Wolves and then Sheffield Wednesday helped to turn Chelsea into champions of England for the very first time in club history. The club was 50 years old when it happened, and it wouldn't happen again for another 50 afterwards. Next is the man known as the King of Stamford Bridge, Peter Osgood, whose iconic header against Leeds helped Chelsea win their first ever FA Cup in 1970. The match, commonly regarded as one of the dirtiest football matches of all time, also attracted a British television audience of more than 28 million. Fast forward a generation, after 26 long years without winning a major trophy, Roberto Di Matteo did this within the first minute of the 1997 FA Cup final. 2 years later, the opening day of the season gave us one of our all-time favourite goals from one of our all-time favourite players, Gus Poyet. Gianfranco Zola only ever seemed to score great goals, arguably none greater than this one against Norwich in the FA Cup. Even by his own astounding standards for individual skill and sheer genius, this one takes unbeaten. A certain Frank Lampard scored more goals for Chelsea than anyone. 211 of them in fact. Many of them great, including both in the game at Bolton in spring 2005 that won the Blues the Premier League for the first time.
This could be the title.
The following year, Chelsea were about to see an unbeaten home run come to an end, and against Arsenal of all teams. There were 6 minutes left when Frank Lampard laid the ball off to Michael Essien. Goals scored in a game that saw your team eliminated fade fastest of all, but they don't all deserve that fate, especially not when they're this good. If it wasn't for the referee's calls on the night, Michael Essien's goal against Barcelona in the 2009 Champions League would have put Chelsea in the final, and it might just be, well, here's what the commentator thought.
And on the volley, it's Essien! Oh my word! That might just be the best goal that's ever been scored at Stamford Bridge! Michael Essien's got it! It is massive! It is magnificent!
3 years on, another European semi-final and another meeting with Barcelona. Losing the game down to 10 men, the end of the first half brought the pivotal moment.
And they might get one. No flag against Ramires! Oh!
A wonderful goal from an unexpected source that would eventually help 10-man Chelsea knock out the mighty Catalans and reach the final of the Champions League for the first time since 2008. Our penultimate goal takes us to Porto in May 2021, where Kai Havertz, having collected Mason Mount's defence-splitting pass, calmly and coolly rounded Ederson to slot home into an empty net. The goal gave Chelsea its second Champions League trophy and concluded a fairy tale start to Thomas Tuchel's tenure as Chelsea head coach, having only joined the club 4 months earlier. But rewind nearly 10 years ago to 2012, and the Champions League was still the holy grail for the modern day Blues, a club who'd lifted almost every trophy available in the previous few seasons, but not this one, the biggest and most famous of all. Which brings us to our final goal, a goal that isn't even technically a goal. It was a pretty easy finish, there were no defenders, and the scorer had all the time in the world to choose how, where, and when to kick the ball. And yet, in terms of what it meant to this football club, the last penalty kick of the 2012 Champions League final is the greatest Chelsea goal of all time. Didier Drogba, over to you.
Maybe his last kick of a ball for Chelsea Football Club. Buries it! Chelsea win the Champions League! This is absolutely incredible! Chelsea are the champions of Europe, and they've done it in the most remarkable fashion.